Hey, all right, welcome back. This group of videos is to work through the next exercise. This is exercise 6, working with create drawing number 5. So same thing we've been doing the first video. We'll kind of go back and review how to draw this drawing, how to get a good solid model and make sure all our dimensions are good. Once we have all that created, then we'll go into setting up our machine group, and then we will toolpath this part. This particular part that we're looking at, let's go ahead and take a look at the print here. Okay, this particular part has a few new things going on, one of which we're going to have to turn down this little recess right here. So we're going to have to let our tool actually plunge down in the X direction. So that's a new application that we're going to have to look at and how to do that, to let it plunge there. And then also, then we're going to turn these threads. You see it's got a 3.2-10 thread per inch thread there. So we're going to do those threads as well. So that'll be the next thing we do, as far as we'll turn everything, we'll get this relief groove. Once we get it all turned, then we'll come back in and we will thread this area right here. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get started with the drawing itself. And I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. I'm going to draw the upper profile using parallel lines, and then I'll trim everything, fill it, and chamfer at the end. We will have to create this angled line here, so that won't be too hard. We'll get that done, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a save as. Okay, and this is going to be my create drawing number 5. Okay, and I'll go ahead and start drawing with my levels. Level 1 is going to be my wireframe geometry. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my planes and go to my D plus Z plus lathe plane. All right. And then I'll get started drawing. Here we go. I draw my axis line. This part is 6.5 inches in length. Okay, zoom out a little bit there and get that centered up. And then the largest diameter is 4.8 inches divided by 2, because I'm drawing the radius here. And that's going to give me lines now that I can go lines parallel to create all the other features. So let's start out by getting all my diameters done. So I'm going to do a line parallel to right here. And looks like my smallest diameter on my print's 2.4 divided by 2. So we're dealing with the radius. And then the very next one there next to it is the 3.2 divided by 2. Okay, and then the back edge, obviously we've got one that's going to represent the 4.8 out here. And then we've got one more here that's going to represent the relief groove, which is 2.8 divided by 2. Okay, and I believe those are all of my, those are all of the diameters that I need to draw in. So we should be good there. Now let's go through and create all the vertical lines. So first one I'm going to do is going to be back 1.5. The next one's coming back 3 inches. Then another one coming back 5 inches. And then the very last one, all the way back to the end of the part, should be 6.5. Okay, so we've got all of our lines created. Now what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and draw in what looks to be the angle coming from this intersection right here. Okay, if I click on this and I hit F4 to analyze it, that's my 3.2 diameter. See where I'm at in D there, 3.2. Okay, so there's a, starting from here, there's a 22-degree line coming down across this relief groove line here. So I'm going to draw a line from this intersection and intersect down to here. And then it's going to be 180 plus 22 for the angle. Okay. All right, now I can go ahead and do some divide delete work. So I'm going to divide this out. All of this can go. All of this can go, and all of this down here can go away. All right, now we need to get our smaller diameter here. So as this comes in, it's going to be this diameter. All of this can go away. Alright, and that should represent, if I check my lines here just by analyze, 2.8. That's 2.8 for the relief groove. This should be 2.4, 2.4, and 3.2 right here. This should be back 1.5. Looks good. The intersection of these, so the green point, looking at the green point, looks good. And the front of it's at -3. That's the red point. Looks good. Okay. All right. I'm happy with it all. Now I'm going to come through and I'm going to put my 800 thousandths radius in. 0.8 radius right here. There we go. That's where that radius goes. And then there's one on the leading edge up here as well. Also 0.8. So we'll put that right there. We're going to put in our 150 thou chamfer, so 0.15. That's going right here. And looking at my print, that looks like everything I need to create for this drawing. Okay. So that's the profile of this part. So let's go ahead and create a solid model. We'll do that by doing a solid revolve. Revolve this whole part, pick our axis, there it is, and then we'll create a level 3 and level 3. There we go. Level 3 is going to be our dimension geometry. So I'm going to shut level 1 off. I'm going to select the part and do a turn profile. So back to wireframe, turn profile. I'm going to do the full profile. That way we can get the full profile of the part here. So we can create our dimensions. So like I said, we checked a lot of this with the analyze, which is another way you can do it, but this is just kind of like the way if you want to really be able to just see them, this is the best way to do it and make sure you have a good drawing. So we'll check out our largest, 4.8 looks good, 2.8 looks good, 0.8 looks good there. Okay, we can go ahead and check our other diameters. 3.2, 2.4, those look good. After that, we can check our lengths. So we can say, hey, how far is it from back here to back here? There's our 1.5. Then from here to this point, here's our 3 inches. Okay, from here to right here, 5 inches, looks good. And then the overall length of the part, hopefully, will be 6.5. There we go. So that one's 6.5. Put this one in the center here. There we go. Move our 3 in here and put it in the center. That way everything's kind of stacked accordingly. We can double check our other radius here. Looks good. Obviously, hopefully we didn't mess that up by changing that. There's our chamfer. And as I look at my print, I don't see any dimensions other than the note that's telling you this is a 3.2 by 10 UNC thread. So that's something else we're going to be working on, but we don't really need to mark that on the print. It is 3.2 major diameter, so we're good there. Okay, so we've got this thing all created, all ready to go. We are ready to basically move on to programming this part. So that's what we'll do in the next video. Since we've got it created, go through and double check all of your geometry, make sure it's good to go, and then if it is, go ahead and move on to video number 2.